War. In a dark, alternate future, megacorporations fought with militant brutality to ensure their continued financial success in an unstable America. Many citizens of the world looked on with futile expressions, but no one could have foreseen how grim the future would become. For the residents of Night City, hindsight is 2020. The lives of 5 million in the year 2023 would change dramatically in the flash of an eye, with further billions witnessing the drafting effects of corporate greed and dystopian total war. For those 12,000 that walked the streets of the corporate district of Night City, they would not know the legacy which would become of them in a wrathful, flaming second of pure atomic annihilation. These people would become the very first victims of an apocalyptic era, known as the Time of the Red. The world of Cyberpunk Red depicts a gritty, crimson bleak future which showcases the total devastation corporations can inflict. Many people within this world are at the total beck and call of their corporate overlords, whether willingly or institutionally, as every faculty of everyday life is dictated by profit margins and monopolies, even if they come before the barrel of an assault rifle. The era which many suffered in between the years of 2023 to the late 2040s was marked by the devastating aftermath of the Fourth Corporate War, a bloody and horrific conflict which saw the powers of two shipping corporations come to a head, the Aquacorps of OTEC and Sino. Both corporations had enlisted the aid of vastly larger megacorporations, which dealt with military technology and arms. OTEC enlisted the help of Militech, whereas Sino hired Arasaka. These corporations didn't initially desire to enter an open war with each other, but fate is a cruel mistress. This would in fact be a great opportunity for both corps to showcase their technological might on the global stage, to show their effectiveness and magnitudinal prowess. However, this grandstanding would only lead to perhaps the deadliest conflict of the century, one which would forever leave a trail of blood, ashes, and a looming shadow over the world. The effects of this war left a deep scar on the earth, polluting every essence of life, causing the very atmosphere to be tinged a deep, foreboding crimson. Greed, malice, and monopoly dragged every civilian into this new apocalyptic dawn, to breathe through synthetic lungs the toxic air which billions of tons of explosive material birthed into existence. Welcome to your new nightmare. Welcome to the Time of the Red. So, if you love grim tales from dark universes or want to learn more about the world of Cyberpunk Red, perhaps leave a like or even subscribe, as it helps the channel immensely. Whilst the Fourth Corporate War raged across the world, spreading its destruction, most were blissfully ignorant to the fact that its end was both imminent and devastating. In the collective minds of the world, no one truly knows who caused the nuclear holocaust in Night City, and many suspect various parties were at play in the detonation of the so-called pocket nuke, which vaporized the upper floors of Arasaka Tower. Some believe that it was a ploy by Militech to crush Arasaka with definite atomic judgment, while some speculate that it was actually due to Arasaka detonating an aerial denial weapon, which was utilized to protect its headquarters. Whilst there is no formal consensus on who detonated the bomb, there are myths and legends which creep around the reddened streets of cities across the world. A tale known as the Fall of the Towers depicts such a legend. The iconic figure and Night City legend Johnny Silverhand is one of the mythical bombing suspects. He had supposedly led an infiltration mission for Militech alongside Morgan Blackhand, as part of Team Alpha, a Militech special operations unit. The team was tasked with destroying the elusive Soul Killer, which was kept within the Arasaka labs on the 120th floor. This was also the alleged location of Alt Cunningham, Johnny Silverhand's lover and the victim of Arasaka's schemes. As the team attempted to extract Alt Cunningham's engram, they were ambushed by the hulking cyborg, Adam Smasher. A raging battle ensued as Arasaka troopers flooded the newly forged battlefield. Initially blown back from the attack, Johnny Silverhand, with submachine gun in one hand and his iconic Malorian in the other, emptied his magazines into the monstrous Smasher. However, the rocker boy was about to meet his fate, as the living nightmare turned his auto shotgun on the man firing a violent maelstrom of APDS rounds, and tore his body in bloodied horror into two. The team was stuck under the might of Adam Smasher's fury, but he was to be met by a member of Team Alpha that would be his equal, the full Borg solo, Shaitan. Grappling the monster, Shaitan offered an escape to the team, and the rest is history. The events which followed are somewhat of a mystery. Morgan Blackhand was nowhere to be seen, but one of the team swore they saw him exit with a heavy briefcase. As Team Alpha extracted from the site, with the data they had retrieved, their eyes would illuminate from a distance upon the catastrophic effects unknown to their plans. A devastating atomic blast, which would hail debris and lightning fury down upon Night City. In a split second, 12,000 people were reduced to ash, cinders, or gory mutilated corpses at the whim of mountains of debris which cascaded over the city. The fallout which wreaked havoc upon the city did not immediately kill millions, as many citizens were equipped with synlungs or similar cybernetics which aided their survival. However, the raging firestorm was enough to destroy a large portion of the city's housing, forcing many to become homeless or leave the city entirely. The event had claimed the lives of 250,000 people, with Night City succumbing to its wounds. Across the world, the devastation of the war had left its horrific mark. Orbital strikes, raging firestorms, and the dregs of conventional warfare had left an eerie red pall over the skies. This could be seen across the world, as the skies were painted this mysterious red from the mass of wartime particulate, which tainted the atmosphere. For 2 years, the skies were blocked entirely by the red. This red pall would often result in rainstorms, which would deposit greasy, viscous liquid upon the earth, resembling that of blood. This became colloquially known as blood rains, and were a common occurrence in the aftermath of the Fourth Corp War. Immediately after the nuclear blast, the President of the United States, Elizabeth Kress, called for Militech to become nationalized under the order of the US military. Hence, all Arasaka forces were to be expelled from the continent, bringing an end to the war. The USA's time as a superpower had come to a rocky end, as the already fragmented nation had begun to dissolve further. In the aftermath of the war, the Pacific Confederation had taken a firm foothold, with states across the West Coast splitting from what is now the old United States of America. Kress, in this time, scrambled together to form what is now known as the new USA, operating primarily on the East Coast and resembling an America of the 19th century, with its power and influence waning considerably past the Mississippi River. Night City was permitted independent city status by the Pacific Confederation, and was helped vastly by the free states in rebuilding after the war. However, the city was a true husk of its former self. Street battles and conflicts were rife before the bomb, yet only escalated as the civilization became more fractured and unstable. The nuclear holocaust truly amplified the horrors of the combat zone, an apocalyptic nightmare where crime and gory violence was just an everyday occurrence. Yet Night City was resolved to rebuild. As the world was plunged into this depression-like age, the megacorporations had found themselves on the back foot, having lost a good portion of their reputation and capital. Whilst they were not completely destroyed, they had taken huge losses, with some fragmenting into smaller corporations. Whilst this was a blow for them, their stranglehold upon the world would never truly go away, and thus an age of neocorps was born. And so, the citizens of the time of the Red were left to ponder their future. Would they regrow their world into a blissful utopia which could expand past their former strife, or would they decay further into anarchy and restlessness, succumbing to feudalistic gang battles and everyday murder? Only you can find out for yourself. Have you got what it takes to survive the world of Cyberpunk Red? Thank you for watching. I'm incredibly excited to have released this video all about Cyberpunk Red, a game of which I have recently gotten into. Let me know if you enjoyed this video by perhaps leaving a like or even subscribing. If you want to see more Cyberpunk content on this channel, please leave a comment on what you would like to see next. And so, until next time, stay safe and do not wander naively into the night.